Welcome back, YouTube. Last session we did back and biceps, which is the first episode of the training series. Today we are doing shoulders and biceps. So as I mentioned in the last episode, biceps is more of a top-up workout. Normally I'm quite exhausted from back, so today is more of a voluminous bicep workout, but we're starting off with shoulders. Train shoulders and biceps every Saturday. Can do a morning workout. I don't need as much food in me because the workout isn't as strenuous as say like a leg or a back workout. And today I'll be training with my son who's jumped out the shot. He's he went out last night, had quite a heavy night coming at 3 a.m, so he's gonna be feeling it today. But he's young, so he can recover, so he'll be fine. If that was me, I'll be laid up in bed for about a week. So, all right, let's do it. The one that says gym, that's the one. So we are kicking off the workout with rear delts. I always start every shoulder workout with rear delts. You know, front delts get hammered with pressing. People overemphasize side delts, which is great, gives you that shoulder cap, but the missing link is always a rear delt. So I always like to start rear delts. There's no real set amount of sets I do for it. I'll probably do about 2 to 3 sets to get warmed up, and then I can do anywhere from 4 to 7 sets, and even chuck in a drop set. So the main thing with rear delts is you don't get carried away with the weight. You want to make sure you're getting a nice stretch, nice contraction. As soon as you start going too heavy with rear delts, you engage the traps, the rhomboids, and it turns into more of an upper back movement. So I'll take you through the movement, show you how I execute it. And like I said, it's one you really want to keep the weight nice and light to actually make sure the rear delt is the prime mover in the exercise, not the traps and rhomboids. We'll do, if you sit your butt slightly back on the seat, that's it. Then lean into it a little bit more, that's it. And come out, squeeze, perfect, all like that. Go 15, yeah? So if you can see how Kai's doing it, he's moved his ass a little bit back on the seat, put his chest on the pad. That way you can help relax the traps and rhomboids. And then when you fire back, you just make sure you're just engaged in the rear delt. Obviously seat position is very important with this. You don't want to make sure you're too high, too low, so you engage in the lats. Just come back, nice, smooth, 1 second peak contraction, get a nice contraction on the delt and move slowly back on the negative. Making sure you don't tap the stack as well. I see a lot of people do that. They end up coming back down, relieving tension by tapping the stack. You know, you want to keep it in a consistent range of motion and consistent tempo. Come down a little bit slower. That's it. Nice. 12, yeah. I might move it down a little bit for you because it's a little bit out of line with your shoulder. 5 sets. We ended up on the rear delt machine or the reverse fly. Like I said, normally 2-3 warm-ups and then 4-5 sets. We ended up with 5 sets, 15 reps with a drop set. And now we're moving on to the machine lateral raise. Now a little trick with this one, I see a lot of people butcher this and end up with shoulder issues. So you want to align the pivot of the machine up with your shoulder. So you can see this one's got an adjustable platform. So ideally, like I said, that pivot wants to align with your shoulder. That way you're going to minimize any aggravation or any pain in the shoulder, okay? So for everyone, it's going to be a little bit different. Kai's obviously a little bit taller than me, so we have to drop the pad down a little bit. I'm a little bit shorter, so you have to go up a little bit. So I'm not that much shorter, just a little bit. Right. So one of the things I like about this machine compared to a dumbbell, when you're using a dumbbell, obviously the greatest force is when you come up parallel to the floor with the gravity. With the machine, you've got constant tension throughout. So I do like the dumbbells. I like to get old school and mix up quite a lot, but This machine is very smooth, very nice, and you get like constant tension throughout the movement. And for delts, that's one of the best things you can do. It's just constant tension throughout the whole movement. Like I said, same with the rear delt, keeping that movement fluid, nice contraction at the top, slow down, and fire up. Staying in the higher rep ranges, we're moving around probably about 12 to 15 rep range. Nice. Up. Oh, good, come on. Good. Come on. And again. Again. That's it. Good. Switch arms. And we're going to go back and forward, okay? Let's go. Come on. Good. Again. Go on. Up. Again. Two more. One more. I'm with you. Come on. Up. There we go. Okay, so last set on this. We've done 2 working sets of 15. Last set, we were going to do a drop set, but I changed my mind. We're going to go failure one arm, failure on the other, and back and forward. So what Kai just did, he hit 15 reps one arm, 15 reps the other, back to the same weight on the other arm, 8 reps, 8 reps, 6 reps, 6 reps. It's almost like a extended rest pause. No real science behind it, just having a bit of fun and just training hard. That was a full stack, by the way. I'll move back just a little bit. A tiny bit. Right, give that a go. Do 10 reps. Feel it.
I thought I spaced my hand.
Yeah, a little bit wider. So about there. Yeah. So yeah, nice. Good. Okay, so when you're old like me, you need to wrap up wrist straps, elbow straps, knee pads, a helmet sometimes as well. 6, come on. 7, one more. 8, good. Nice.
Not bad.
He's been sandbagging me the whole time. He's been making out he's weaker than he actually is. Like this Cybex is probably the best Smith you can get, to be honest. So it's yeah, it's a nice machine. Seven, slow it down a bit. 8, nice. Up, one more. Go down. Up. That's it, good, rack it. Good, go a little bit heavier. I reckon for 6 to 8 reps, you go 10 aside on top of that. So 8K. I like to put press in, kind of in the mid to the end of the workout. I like to get the rear delts fully fired up, the medial delts fired up, and then press. Getting a bit older, my joints aren't what they used to be, so if I go straight into a press, I can go a lot heavier, but then the risk to reward ratio is not really there for me. Elbows start to get tired, my shoulder joint starts to go a little bit. So I found if I overload with a little bit of volume at the start of workout, get the rear delts pumped up, get the side delts pumped up, and I can go into the press feeling fully lubricated, put it that way, and everything moves a lot easier. Like I said, I can start with it and I can move a bigger amount of weight, but just the risk to reward ratio is just not there for me. Oh. Oh. Hey. Oh. Yeah, one more. Hungover PB. Powered by what you've been drinking last night?
Rum.
Can't even remember, yeah. Spiced rum PB. Spiced rum shoulder press. Fasted, yeah, he hasn't eaten. Yeah, he has had stuff that needs electrolytes and a pre-pump, so he should be fine.
No sleep, spice rum.
Yeah, no sleep. Fine, everything you got. Up. Nice. Up. 2. Up. 3. Good, I'm with you. Come on. Up. Good. And again. Up. Nice. One more 6. One more 6. Come on. Down. Up. One more. I'm with you. Let's go. Down. Up. Yeah. One more. Up. Drive. That's you. Drive. There we go. Good man. 80 kilo PB. Good. Fasted and hungover at the same time. 3 working sets now. Moving in the 8 to 10 rep range. My last set, I got about 8 reps. I don't really want to go any lower than that, so I'm not going to go any heavier. So I'm going to drop the weight down and do more of a back off set and try and hit around about 12 to 15. So with shoulders, again, it's such a vulnerable joint. You don't want to be dropping below 8 reps ideally, you know. It's when I have done that before, that's what's caused the rotator cuff issue. So never train below an 8 rep range from the shoulders. I don't care what anyone says. With the shoulder press, everyone likes to set up slightly differently. Some people like to have the seat, you know, at a full right angle, which is good, you know, and it's a lot harder way to do it. The problem is I find when people do that, they arch their back too much, putting their lower back at risk. You know, you see people that put the seat dead straight, bring the bar down, but by the end of the set, they're almost like bowed backwards, you know, putting an extreme amount of pressure on their lower back. Now, all you have to do to target the front delts and even the medial delts is put it at a high incline. Like I said before, if you see in my chest training, when I do incline, it's more of like a 15 to 20 degree max. So I feel that's going to give your upper chest the most recruitment and your front delts the most, well, the minimal recruitment ideally, but anything above 45 is going to be more shoulder dominant. So go to where you feel comfortable. Like I said, if you want to do the 90 degree right angle, that's absolutely fine. But you probably will find you have to go a little bit lighter to make sure you're not arched to the back. Where you feel comfortable, whether that's neutral, pronated. No, one at a time. Come higher as well when you're up, like one at a time. Yeah. No, one and then the other. Yeah. There we go. That's it. Gonna finish up on front delts, front raises. I know a lot of people are weird about front delts. They think you don't need to train them because they get hit enough in presses, which is true to some degree, but in my opinion, you can never have shoulders that are too big. You know, it sets off the physique. There's nothing more impressive than a round cannibal set of delts. And I think you need front raises to do that, you know. Now, the way you do it can vary between a lot of people. I know some people get joint issues when they're doing front raises, but normally that's more down to the hand positioning. So it doesn't matter which way you do them. You can do them pronated or you can do them neutral. You know, if you get a little bit of tendon irritation by them doing pronated, then switch to neutral. For the most part, that works for a lot of people. And the main trick, like I was just saying to Kai then, people make a mistake when they kind of just come up or come out. Now, you get a better front delt contraction and it's more engaged when you come across the body. So when you're doing these front raises, always come slightly across the center line of the body. That way you can see the front delt engage more, as opposed to if you're coming out. Again, it's going to hit the front delt, but a little bit of medial head will get taxed as well. So if you want to push as much emphasis onto the front delt as possible, you want to come across the body, you know, across that center line. Come on. So if you watch how Kai did it, he had the more of a pronated grip. His shoulders are nice and fresh, so he can handle it. You know, it's nice when you're young, injury-free, lean and handsome. I used to be that. That's actually a lie. I was never handsome or lean, but I was young and injury-free at one point. Do you want to grab 10s? We'll do incline dumbbells. I've done these loads of times. Right, one warm up. Keep your shoulders pinned back. That's it. Nice. Come up a little bit higher. There we go. That's it. So shoulders done. Moving on to biceps. Starting off with incline dumbbell curl. Probably one of my favorite bicep movements because you're able to get a nice stretch at the bottom. Can do it with a cable, but Kai's with us today. He has to learn the way of the free weights like all the youngers have to. So we'll do more free weight bicep movements today. Give Kai a bit more punishment. All right, 12 reps, ready? Nice. Come on. Nice. Up. Come on. Up. Yeah. Good. That's good weight. Stick to that. Feel good? It's going to be quite embarrassing. I think Kai's going to get quite close to matching me on these weights. I feel like I'll go heavier now because you're catching me up with the weight. I'm going to start ego lifting. Just go to failure. We've got 2 more sets. If this one's too heavy, next set drop down to 10s and try and hit the rep range again. So it doesn't matter if you're like 1 or 2 shy. Come on. Fire them up. There we go. Just go to failure. Come on. Up. Squeeze. There you go. That's I'm running on reserves now. We drop down 10s next set, yeah? How many did you get on that one? 6, yeah, go lighter. You shot your load in your first set. Oh, fuck. Being that pump, yeah.
Used to being this pump.
My growth hormone goes missing out of the fridge now. I know where it's going. I'm gonna have to lock it away. And every other peptide. Oh. Grab the handle. Like duck down a little bit, come down, that's it, and then lean into it, and then pull up. Hold 1 second. No, that's it, perfect. Really squeeze at the top, hold for 1 second. Right, one more set. First exercise for biceps, we did seated incline dumbbell curl. One of my favorite bicep movements. You can really focus on the stretch part of the movement. And the key with this one is a lot of people end up hinging their shoulder in it, but the whole point of the seated incline is to keep you fixed in position. So only the elbow joint should be moving. So you want to come down, nice stretch at the bottom, lock out the tricep, get a stretch on the bicep, and then fire up. So we did 3 sets of probably around about 10 to 12 reps. Kai went a little bit too heavy on the second set, shot his load too early, and had to go back down to a lighter weight. I was kind of failing on 15 kilos, 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps. Then after that, we moved on to the seated preacher curl, machine curl from Primal. So the first exercise focused on the stretch portion of the movement. This focused on the shorten range. So don't have to go too crazy heavy with this one. As I explained in my previous YouTube, you don't want to overextend on this movement. Keep the tension on the bicep, only moving about 80% of the length and getting a nice, short, sharp contraction on the isometric. Got it? Nice. Come on. Nice. All right. That. Nice, your form was better than mine on that. Okay, so that wraps up the last exercise on biceps, which was barbell body curl, or father-son curl, as I call them. So this is just a bit of fun towards the end of the workout. What I like to call a challenge set. So basically it's just pick something you can do which is hard as possible and just have a bit of fun with it. It's always good when you've got a training partner because obviously it brings out the competitive nature. So with barbell body curl, what you do is curl, find a weight you can curl around about 15 to 20 reps with. You curl about 20 reps, the partner gets about 20 reps, goes back to you, you get 1 rep shy, so it's about 19 reps, they get 19 reps, 18, 18. Obviously there's a little bit of strength difference between me and Kai, so he did slightly lower reps, but still got a great workout and you're still well above 20 reps by the time you finish. And we're finishing up on cable flies. So I hit chest on a Monday, quite a voluminous workout, then I hit again on Thursday, and then I'll top it up with just a little bit of volume, a little bit of light work, not going to failure, just pumping blood into it. Now I know people are going to say you're overtraining chest, you're training it 3 times a week, but since I've been doing this, 2 heavy workouts a week and a little top up the end of the shoulders a couple of days later, again, just to flush blood in there, get all that nutrient-rich blood in there, I've noticed I've definitely made progress in my chest. So sometimes you just got to ignore the textbooks, ignore what you're supposed to do, and just play around with volume, play around with frequency. Like I said, since I've been doing this has massively improved my chest. Bearing in mind before, it's a glaring weakness for me. So at the end of the workout, 3 to 4 sets, 15 reps, just stopping shy of failure and just pumping it full of blood. So that wraps up shoulders and biceps. To recap the workout, we started off on the rear fly machine, did 2 to 3 warm-ups, then 4 to 5 working sets with a drop set, 15 reps a set. Then we moved over to the machine lateral raise, did 1 warm-up, 3 sets of 12 to 15. And on the last set, we did a bit of a challenge set where you go, it's almost like a rest pause really. You do like 15 reps each arm, jump straight back to the same arm after you've done both arms, try and hit as many reps to failure, which I got about, I think 8 on the second set and then 6 on the third set. Again, just a bit of fun, no science behind it, but sometimes you've got to throw these intensity techniques to spice up the workouts a little bit, and it pushes you a little bit harder. Then from there, we went on to the Smith machine shoulder press on the Cybex machine, which in my opinion is probably one of the best Smith machines you can get. We did a 1 warm-up set, 3 work-ins, staying around the 8 to 10 rep range. On my heavier set, I went up to 120 kilos, got 8 reps on that, then did a back off on 100 kilos for about 15 reps. Kai hit a PB, which was good. You got 80 kilos, didn't you? 10 reps, 8 to 10 reps, surviving off about 3 hours sleep and a hangover from Jaeger bombs as well, so he did pretty well. Then we went on to front raises, dumbbells, nice and old school. As I touched on in the actual workout itself, the biggest mistake people make with that one is like just bringing their arms too far out and not bringing it across the body. That does real extra benefits for the front delt when you bring it across the body. People moan about their tendons and their shoulders aching, rotator cuffs, but if you play with your hand positioning from a pronator to a neutral grip, for the most part, you're going to be absolutely fine. Then moved on to biceps, which is we did the seated incline dumbbell curl, 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps, focusing on the length and range of the motion. Then we moved on to the machine preacher curl, where we did 3 sets to 12 to 15 reps again. And then we finished up on the father-son curls, aka the body curls, barbell body curls, where we did just 1 all-out set, technically 3 sets because it's kind of cluster set all in one. And then, just again, another challenge set, makes the workout a bit more fun and it gets a little bit of competitive spirit in it too. And then I topped off the workout with 3 sets of 15 of cable flies. Now people are going to moan about that and say, oh, it's too much chest in 1 week, because I hit probably about 10 to 12 sets on a Monday, 10 to 12 sets on a Thursday, and then I do a little top up on Saturday, which is, again, I'm not going to failure, it's literally just pumping blood into the area. But from what I can tell, in my experience, that's the best chest growth I've ever experienced it. It automatically improved when I changed it, I trained it twice a week with pretty much double the volume, and then when I topped it up with an extra little bit of workout, again, just a bit of a blood flow workout towards the end of the week, it grew even more. Chest has always been a weaker body part for me. And for some body parts, they say less is more, which is true. I think that is the case for some people. But for me, what I've discovered in the last 20 years of training, more is more, okay? So the same way I've always trained legs, I always got blasted for training legs with too much volume, 2.5 hour workouts, high volume workouts, but I had some of the best legs in the country about 23. So if it works, it works. And if the proof's in the pudding, then just do what you feel and do what you enjoy. That's the main part of the training. It's got to be fun. And if you're not enjoying it, then why are you doing it anyway? So that wraps up that workout. I think we're going to have to cover a leg workout soon. I'll try and get Kai when he's nice and fresh in that one. Though he hit a PB the other day, didn't you? He's shaking his head. He don't want to do legs. You hit a PB on the hack squat the other day. I think you got 3 plates for 10 reps, didn't you? So that was a bad boy set. So we're going to get back into we'll do a leg workout, again, another chest workout, and I'll mix it up and throw some other challenge sets that I like to do in there as well. So thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for the next episode.